Yo, welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. Today is December 16th, 2022. We're your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution when it comes to breaking news, culture, memetic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. Absolutely insane news. We've made the case for you guys many times, right? That energy companies eventually would become Bitcoin mining companies. And this is happening on a worldwide scale. Huge news coming out of Japan. We're going to cover it. Extremely bullish. And also, if you think about it from the political front, right? We obviously know that there's a huge war on Bitcoin mining itself. We saw New York State ban Bitcoin mining within its borders. We saw China doing the same thing. The problem, though, is that that's an uphill battle for them due to the incentives. And now if you have giant energy companies getting into the fray, obviously they're going to protect their business. And because they're such large corporations, they have a tremendous amount of influence in the political sphere. So this is crazy, right? Once again, Bitcoin's incentives are winning. So we're going to cover all of that during the news. We're going to dive deep. But first, I want to bring up my legendary co-host, always optimistic. How you doing, Opti?
Good morning, Nico. Well, it's good that we made it. We almost had some technical issues, but we're here. It is Friday, man. It's, again, I say it all the time, and I truly mean it. It's just another day in paradise where we can continue to get that Bitcoin signal out there to people. And, man, I'm just blessed and humbled to be here. And, yeah, man, I'm excited to get the Nico Jones take, connecting all the dots, of course, in the news. But on the culture, January 3rd is coming up. And so what we do on this show is continuously tell people to take Bitcoin into self-custody. So we're going to get a preemptive proof of keys day announcement, and I'll probably do it next week as well. So just got to get people aware and taking their Bitcoin into self-custody before people do the bank runs on the exchanges.
All right, everybody, let's start the show. Let's do this.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Brought to you by NODL. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse because now you can run a NODL through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. All right, everybody, at the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is $16,796 US. Sats per dollar, we're sitting at 5,954. Block height, 767,692. Reachable Bitcoin nodes, 15,288. Blocks to the halvening, 72,308. Halving estimate, April 24th, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity, we're at 5,131. Capacity value, 86 million US dollars. Realized monetary inflation, Bitcoin continues to take US dollar and fiat currencies to absolute school, 1.76%, and the market capitalization of Bitcoin right now is at 323 billion US dollars. In the grand scheme of things, Bitcoin is still a baby. Another historic moment. We've been making the case for you guys. What we're really living through nowadays is the disintermediation of information and also the disintermediation of money. And we're witnessing, literally, we're in the front lines every single day on Twitter. You're seeing Elon doing his thing, and you're seeing the legacy gatekeepers fighting back. Like, the internet killed credentialism. It took away their special privilege, and it makes them equal like everybody else. And we've been making the case for that. I did a whole thread on that, and that's what freaks them out. The fact that they don't have that special privilege, it puts the fear of God in them. And there is a Twitter Spaces that was spin up not too long ago, and we're all speculating that that was the reason as to why Twitter Spaces is down. There's a reason that our Twitter Spaces is not up today with our friends over at Swan Bitcoin, best place to stock sats. And this is the speculation is that it's because Elon went into this Twitter Spaces with journalists. I'm going to play you guys the clip, and then Opti, let's talk about it.
In the last few hours with a handful of journalists being banned.
Well, as I'm sure everyone who's been Doxson would agree. Showing real-time information about somebody's location is inappropriate, and I think everyone on this call would not like that to be done to them. And there's not going to be any distinction in the future between journalists, so-called journalists, and regular people. Everyone's going to be treated the same. You're not special because you're a journalist. You're a Twitter. You're a citizen. So no special treatment. You dox, you get suspended. End of story. So and ban evasion, or trying to be clever about it, like, oh, I posted a link to the real-time information, is obviously simply trying to evade the meaning. There's no different than actually showing real-time information.
So when you're saying posting a link to it, I mean, some of the people like Drew and Ryan Mack from the New York Times who were banned were they were reporting on it in the course of sort of pretty normal journalistic endeavors. You consider that like a tricky attempt at ban evasion?
You show the link to the real-time information, ban evasion, obviously.
Drew, I don't think you were posting the real-time information, right?
I mean, you're suggesting that we're sharing your address, which is not true. And you're suggesting that we're posting. We never. I never posted your address.
You posted a link to the address.
We posted a link. In the course of reporting about Elon Jet, we posted links to Elon Jet, which are now not online and now banned on Twitter. And Twitter also, of course, marks even the Instagram and Mastodon accounts of Elon Jet as harmful, using,
So it keeps going. Elon eventually gets frustrated and he goes off stage. But I think the signal out of all that, and you can make a comparison with really how central bankers are reacting to Bitcoin as well, is really the internet has leveled the playing field, right? In the case of information, anybody could buy a microphone, anybody could buy a camera. Hey, you're a broadcaster now. That used to be in the hands of a privileged elite. Same goes with money, right? Only the central bankers were entitled to create money. And now Bitcoin, it's anybody that, could spin up a miner. Hey, you're creating Bitcoin, right? So it levels that. But the old world, really, the way that it used to work, you're seeing the credentialed class freak the hell out. You heard what Elon said, and I think that was a dagger into their hearts, metaphorically, of course. What he was saying was, yeah, the difference between journalists and citizens, that's not going to exist anymore. Everyone's equal now. This is how it's going to be. And these journalists feel like they had some type of special privilege, man. So the internet is doing this to everything. It's doing this to information. It's doing this to money. And I think the world would be much better for it. Let's judge money and let's judge information based on its merit. Rather than because I'm credentialed, I'm entitled to something. No, that's not the way it should be. And I think it's led to misallocation of capital. It's led to trusting sources that have a history of lying, right? Instead of looking at someone's credentials, let's judge people on the value they provide. Instead of saying, oh, you have to use this because this is the dollar, this is the euro. How about you let people decide? You let the free market do what the free market does. And people are going to obviously pick the money that works for them. And we obviously know that is Bitcoin. Bitcoin provides the best incentives, censorship resistant, cap supply, and that causes, it's a deflationary currency. Your purchasing power increases over time, and they want you to continue to use the money that steals from you, because that money is what allows them to pay for themselves. That allows for the deficit spending. Right? The deficit spending is how governments pay for themselves. They don't have enough tax revenue to be able to afford all of the spending. That's how they pay for wars. That's how they pay for social programs that you might not necessarily agree with. And most importantly, that's how they pay for the giant administrative state that some people call the deep state. But I'm not saying that because it's really in your face at this point. Eventually, look, if the government is big enough, it tends to become tyrannical. right? That's how they're able to fund that, through the deficit spending. And Bitcoin is a threat to that. So man, this is a crazy historic moment. What a time to be alive. And I just want to point out, holy crap, the sovereign individual really nailed this with their theory. And remember guys, that book came out back in 1997, literally years before its time. Absolutely insane. If you haven't read that book already, I really suggest it, because it's really made, they hit the nail on the head. I think the only thing they got wrong was the rise of China. But anyways, Opti, what do you think, man? That Twitter Spaces with Elon, bro. I bet you those journalists were like literally melting in their seats. Like, what do you mean we don't get privilege? What does that mean? We're journalists. What's going on there?
Yeah, you know, as a journalist, I would love special treatment.
Citizen journalist.
First and foremost, obviously, doxing is not cool by any means. As a Bitcoiner, I think we can all agree to this, and as Bitcoiners out there, I think we can all agree to this. But I really do love, you know, taking Elon for his word, where he says that, you know, journalists are no longer going to get special treatment. And as someone that has been following the media very closely for a lot of years, and now on this side of the media, you know, you love to see it, because it seems like they were able for a long time to get away with a lot of stuff that us average peeps would not be able to get away with. As you keep beating the drum, you know, no longer is the credentialized class getting away with this stuff, because now it seems like we may be on equal footing. But on the one hand, I say that, and on the other, you know, hey, you know, Nika, you may not fully agree with me, but I think it's a bit concerning that Elon is doing things at his every whim. Of course, you know, it's his company. He can do whatever he wants with his company. And, you know, I do fundamentally believe, I really like how some people have said it, you know, I'm a freedom of speech supremacist, and I do think freedom of speech should be for everyone, but obviously there is Twitter guidelines, and posting stuff that may harm users is no good. And I see the chat saying like, how is this doxing when you post something that is publicly available? Again, guys, you know, like posting people's whereabouts. There's a lot of crazy people on the internet, and you never know where that information will go. So again, you know, it does seem like, to your point, Nico, that we are all now on equal footing. And like I've said in the past, you know, we are watching this in real time, and we'll see where this ends up. And I just really do hope, again, being hopeful, that this is the battle for free speech, and Elon is actually doing what he says he's doing. But again, I'm not holding my breath. He does seem to be part of that elite class. So, you know, there may be some 5D chess moves that I'm unaware, but taking all his actions on the surface level for what they are, again, who am I to judge Elon? He seems like a very successful man, and I am just a lowly pleb over here. Taking him on his word, it does seem like he is in the fight for the free speech, and, you know, maybe he has had a change of heart since all the stuff he's going through, and actually wants to provide a free speech platform, and he's just trying to figure out the best way to do this. So, you know, it's very promising in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. You really hit the nail on the head when you said you shouldn't trust Elon. And I completely agree. And that actually is what Bitcoin figured out, right? That's what makes Bitcoin so unique,
Exactly.
right? It's rules without rulers. There is no single entity. And I think it was Jack Dorsey that was making the case, right? That his vision for a social media for social media is it has to become a protocol rather than this centralized entity that people can that people can control, right? So yeah, man, that's let's see how that is that even possible. That's another component of it, right? But anyways, we shall see. Let's get to news. We do have a lot of bullish news to talk about. Let's check it out.
The Daily News.
Brought to you by Blockstream Jade, built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. It's an open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin. Blockstream Jade houses a full color camera, allowing for fully air-gapped Bitcoin transactions. Scan and display QR codes directly on the device to sign transactions and verify addresses with ease. Use your Blockstream Jade with your favorite wallet software, such as the Blockstream Green, Blue Wallet, Electrum, and Sparrow. Get yourself a Blockstream Jade today and take self-custody of your Bitcoin. All right, everybody. So this is the big kahuna. This is the big news for today. Absolutely insane, absolutely massive. And it's a continuing. If it was just by itself, I would say it's still pretty big if it was just by itself. But I think if you connect the dots with the other things that has been happening, this is something that Bitcoiners have been theorizing for a while. And like, you have to think about it. Like, why are energy companies, right? Because it's not only Japan interested in mining Bitcoin. Like, why is that? Because for the first time, Bitcoin has given excess energy value. And what a lot of people don't understand about electricity is that it's not easy to store, right? Battery technology isn't that great. And even if you do store it in batteries over time, have you ever left your phone out in the nightstand, right? And you charge it up to 100%, it's unplugged. And then you check a couple hours later and it's like down to 99, right? Over time, that battery won't keep all of that energy, right? Batteries have been getting better, but over time it'll decrease. Same goes with transportation, right? If you transport electricity through power lines, it loses a percentage of energy every mile that it's transported, right? And so energy is the most efficient when it's used right then and there, right? It has to be used right then and there. But the problem is that sometimes what happens is that you create more energy and there's no one to use it. Before, that energy would go to waste. There was no one to buy it. And this is where Bitcoin mining comes in, because Bitcoin miners are very mobile. They can go anywhere. They can go towards those excess energy pockets, and you can monetize them, which is why we've been making the case for literally months and years now, right? Really, I don't know about years, but definitely months. I would even say a year, because we have been doing simply for multiple years, that eventually it would just be a matter of time before energy companies came to this realization. The incentives of Bitcoin are irresistible. It does something very unique. And now that Ethereum has migrated to proof of stake, Ethereum cannot provide these types of incentives. This is unique to Bitcoin. Anyways, so before I get into the article, the newly released news about Japan's largest power company, TEPCO, let's dig into some previous energy companies that are doing the same thing, right? So we have ExxonMobil, one of the largest energy companies in the world. We covered this news when it dropped back in March. Exxon is mining Bitcoin in North Dakota as part of its plans to slash emissions. Also, ConocoPhillips. Now, what's interesting about ConocoPhillips is that ConocoPhillips bought the natural gas part of Shell. And it was just recently announced that Shell, and I don't know if this is still the case, but there was a big buzz that Shell, the energy company, was going to be a sponsor or was going to speak at the Bitcoin conference in 2023, the Bitcoin conference in Miami in 2023. But it's not that they're not mining Bitcoin, it's that the part that would have been used to mining Bitcoin, they sold to ConocoPhillips, for my sources, and ConocoPhillips is actually mining Bitcoin also in North Dakota using extra gas that normally would have been vented into the atmosphere, right? Through flaring. But this is a worldwide phenomenon. It's not only happening in the United States, it's also happening in Russia, right? Russia's Gazprom and BitRiver partnered to develop crypto mining operations. And what are they doing? They're using the extra flared gas. Why? Because it has value. Normally, it was too isolated. It was too far away. And you're like, what else am I going to do with that? And now it gives it value. And then over time, what you're going to see is that Bitcoin is going to make these energy companies more efficient over time. And I would actually even make the case that it's going to incentivize the development of renewable energy production without the necessity of government subsidy. Only Bitcoin could do this. It's very unique. So you can even make the case that Bitcoin is good for the environment. Not bad for it, but of course, you know, that narrative spreads Bitcoin adoption, doesn't stop it. And we know that there's a lot of entrenched, powerful interests, which we're going to get to in the second part of the news, that don't want that to happen, right? So let's cover what actually happened. This happened 2 days ago. Japan's largest electric power company is about to start mining Bitcoin. Tokyo electric power company TEPCO Power Grid is partnering with Triple One, a local semiconductor designer and developer, to mine Bitcoin with excess energy across the country, CoinDesk first reported. TEPCO is the country's largest electric power company in total assets. TEPCO is the utility behind the Fukushima nuclear reactor, which in 2011 was struck by an earthquake and huge tsunami that knocked out some of its cooling systems, allowing 3 reactors to melt down. The power company later admitted that it had failed to take stronger measures to prevent such disasters. TEPCO is still suffering from the accident, as compensation for victims is taking a toll on its profitability to this day. Now its power transmission and distribution company, TEPCO Power Grid, is seeking ways to monetize surplus power with Bitcoin mining through its wholly owned subsidiary, Agile Energy X. TEPCO is joining major global energy companies and jumping on the Bitcoin mining bandwagon, and a common denominator for most of them is a need to monetize excess power, something Bitcoin mining does very well. ConocoPhillips, which we just talked about, is selling stranded gas to Bitcoin miners in the Bakken oil abundant region in the US, a similar strategy to what Exxon is doing. The oil giant reportedly has an agreement with Crusoe Energy Systems, which, by the way, they just acquired a Bitcoin mining company called Great American Mining. So they're looking to expand operations as well. So absolutely crazy. Here's like a screenshot of, I guess, some promotional stuff of Bitcoin miners. Where they? And they're just humming, and they're humming, and it's beautiful. It's background noise. It's white noise. It's this beautiful. Sailor calls them
orange noise.
We should put it on the goddamn soundboard. Why don't we have that noise on the soundboard? That's a mistake. Anyways, beautiful to see. Extremely bullish news, and I'll tell you this: this will continue, because Bitcoin's incentives are irresistible. Opti?
Well, obviously bullish news. I love this. And someone on Twitter, and I forget who it is, so forgive me, called Bitcoin's effect on energy, on the energy sector, Satoshi's second greatest gift. And I really love that framing, because not only do we get digital scarcity, but we also get Bitcoin incentivizing the profitability of excess energy and revolutionizing the energy sector. And as everyone's saying in the chat, you know, we waste so much energy just via entropy. And if we can tap into all the stranded energy uses around the world, like, we're going to not only be able to save in money, but revolutionize our society and upgrade our amount of energy use. And energy use is good for society. Don't let them psyop you. So obviously love to see this news. Bitcoin incentives stay winning. And this is just back to what we always try to tell you guys about Bitcoin mining, that Bitcoin's connection to the real world via energy is a feature and not a bug. And anyone that wants to break away from proof of work just really doesn't understand the innovation and the importance of the fact that you need to use real world resources to ensure our money. You know, we brought on Buckminster Fuller and quotes on the past about the importance of money backed by energy. I know there's people out there that say Bitcoin isn't backed by anything, but it's backed by energy, and energy money is the future and where we are going. And you kind of glossed over that little point about TEPCO being part of the Fukushima stuff. So, like, when nuclear power mining Bitcoin is my question.
Oh man. Okay.
The normies would love that narrative, but hey, that would be awesome.
Oh man, more heads will explode. Figuratively. Okay, so let's talk about the monetary demons. We started off with the bullish news. ECB official calls for ban on crypto. Let's check it out. European Central Bank senior executive Fabio Panetta has proposed a ban, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Fabio. Okay, he's first of all, suspicious name. European Central Bank senior executive Fabio Panetta has proposed a ban on crypto.
Nico, put up the. Are you reading something? Put it up.
I totally am, and I am not sharing the screen. Okay, so European Central. Thanks, Opti. European Central Bank senior executive Fabio Panetta has proposed a ban on cryptocurrencies with an excessive ecological footprint. Remember when we covered the energy news first? so that you guys can internalize the amount of bullshit that this guy is saying. What do they propose? Just like flaring out that gas into the atmosphere, which is like one of the worst greenhouse gases, methane. Like, do they just like, okay, like fine, like no, it's like the narrative is crumbling in front of their eyes. So much bullshit. Anyways, okay, so let's continue. He proposed banning digital assets that use the proof of work method for validating transactions, just as Bitcoin, right? Proof of stake, of which they control. We know that the majority, 60 to 70% of Ethereum validators, are now actively censoring for the Office of Foreign Asset Control, which is part of the US Treasury. That's okay, right? Because they can capture it, they can control it, they can tweak the rules to benefit themselves, like Vitalik has been doing. For what, he rolled back the chain already, right? The pre-mine. The fact that Aya Miyaguchi is sitting on the board of, no, she's part of the World Economic Forum. Shout out to Phil, by the way, for discovering that. So, of course, proof of stake, good. Proof of work, bad. EU officials have previously rejected an outright ban on crypto mining. Sorry, my fire alarm just went off. EU officials have previously rejected an outright ban on crypto mining, but recent legislation called MiCA could require firms to report any potential environmental impact. You know how this is, you know where this is going. He compared crypto to the betting industry, concluding that many cryptocurrencies are just a new way of gambling. He added, on the whole, it is difficult to see a justification for the existence of unbacked crypto assets in the financial landscape. What backs fiat currencies, huh? What backs fiat currencies? Their combined features mean that they are just speculative assets. Investors buy them with the sole objective of selling them on a higher price. In fact, they are a gamble disguised as an investment. You know what? They're not an investment. They're not speculative. I'm not gambling. I'm opting out into better savings because your shit sucks. Anyways, so I also found this out about Fabio Panetta. He wrote this paper for the Bank of International Settlements. I'll know Augustin Carson, or the guy that looks like the Hamburglar, the final boss, like very big. It's like the central bank digital currencies. We must have absolute control. That guy. So Fabio Panetta wrote a paper for the Bank of International Settlements, and let's take a look at this paper. Central bank digital currencies, defining the problems, designing the solutions. It is great pleasure to take, this is part of the paper. It is great pleasure to take part in the panel on central currencies. Throughout history, money and payments have been constantly evolving. And this also holds true in the digital age. As we increasingly pay digitally and shop online, we rely less on cash. Our wallets are gradually moving from our pockets to our smartphones and electronic devices. These changes have profound implications for the nature of money itself, raising the question of whether central banks should issue digital currencies for retail use. Today, I will argue that in a digital world, CBDCs are necessary to preserve the role of central bank money as a stabilizing force. What fucking stabilizing force is he talking about, bro? At the heart of the payment system and to safeguard monetary sovereignty. Well, you know what? Fuck you and your monetary sovereignty. I want individual sovereignty. I don't want your slave money. I don't want any of that. Fuck that shit. I don't want it. It's not cool. So this same guy that made this speech, Fabio, was just not too long ago said, we must also ban Bitcoin. So why is that? Why is that? Because Fabio knows that no one will adopt his bitch money if Bitcoin exists. If a free market competition is allowed to happen and individuals have the freedom to pick and choose, do I want Bitcoin, which is deflationary, censorship resistant, or do I want this state money that is censored and is inflationary? Oh, and even worse, not only is it inflationary, in China, they're looking into introducing an expiration date on the money, right? You got to use this money of which you earned and you acquired, but you got to spend it quickly because it has an expiration date. Like, it's crazy. But I'll tell you what, guys, the reason they're saying this is because they're scared. The reason they came out, remember that tweet that we debunked, right? Where the European Central Bank like said something about Bitcoin. It got absolutely ratioed, right? We're winning the battleground on the internet. The reason they're doing this is because they're terrified. And Bitcoiners are doing what we do best, ridiculing them with memes and truth. And they can't handle that. All they have is lies, misrepresentations, and now the internet, and tie this in what Elon said in the beginning, the internet is empowering individuals to be citizen journalists. And the internet is also giving them a platform to talk directly to their listeners, and by doing that, circumventing the gatekeepers of information. And it's driving them absolutely insane. If they don't have control, they can't win. And it freaks them out. It terrifies them. But they're losing. And it's absolutely incredible. Woof. Opti, what are your thoughts, man? This made me bullish. We're winning. We're winning. That's what's happening. We're winning.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think we've covered this in the past as well, but Fabio Panetta is pure projection. And as we said in the news segment before about the largest Japan utility company, proof of work connection to the real world via energy is a feature, not a bug. And you jumped exactly on a theme that we've been touching a lot on in our spaces, that the powers that be are not stupid. It's not that they need to be educated. I mean, some might need to be, further their rabbit hole education. But for the most part, there's others, probably the high level ones, that know why Bitcoin is better and that they should be scared. And further, they know that the majority of people do not understand Bitcoin. And so, in my opinion, this is really like a slap in the face. And I'm glad that you brought the receipts that Fabio is pushing CBDCs, yet denounces Bitcoin, because this is further, pushing the idea that these people know why they are afraid of Bitcoin. They know the reason why we Bitcoin. I mean, I'm reminded of everyone's favorite politician, Brad Sherman, who
Sherman.
Oh, was it?
Brad Sherman.
Yeah, he might be the most bullish Bitcoiner out there because he understands the existential threat that Bitcoin does pose to him and his friends. So, I think this is just another data point on the board for us Bitcoiners, where it's like, if you're not a Bitcoiner, then you are suspect as fuck. And as Nico so eloquently put,
you're against Bitcoin, you're against freedom.
And this is just further to the idea that I keep pushing to everyone. If your government is telling you that you shouldn't own Bitcoin, that's probably a pure signal that you should be owning Bitcoin. So, I mean, how do you not stay bullish when someone that pushes CBDCs tells you not to be a Bitcoiner? Tell me that Bitcoin ruins the planet and I will counter and tell you that Bitcoin will incentivize the energy use on this planet and basically bring us into a better life. So he can, Boomer can yell all he wants, not going to stop running my node and taking Bitcoin into self-custody. So
amen. Amen to that. All right, guys, speaking of self-custody, we're going to talk about a lot of that during the culture section, I suspect. And I got a clip for you guys before Opti dives in. And I'm glad I saved the clip because it's perfect. All right, let's check it out.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
We want to be transparent. We want to set the golden standard for reliability, solidness in the space.
So do it. Would you be able to handle it if somebody asked you for $2.1 billion back? Would that be okay? Would you be able to still withstand things?
We're financially okay.
Including you have $2.1 billion to give away. If somebody came to claw that back, you'd still be fine?
We'll let the lawyers handle it. We are financially strong. Even after the FTT price dropped over the last year, we still have $500 million worth of it, $580 million worth of it on the day when we transferred from the address we received a year and a half ago. We never touched it. We actually kind of forgot about it.
But thus far, you haven't disclosed your liabilities. And I wonder why that is, and whether you will.
Yeah, so we are working with the firms to do the audit of financials, liabilities, etc. But the audits don't reveal every problem. So
No, but an audit from a Big Four auditor would reveal that, CZ. If you could get a Big Four auditor to say that, if you're saying that some of them don't want to work with you, that raises questions too. They don't want to work with you because you don't have the files and the data that would make them feel comfortable signing off and giving that stamp of approval?
Actually, many of them don't even know how to audit crypto exchanges. They don't.
Oh my God, what the fuck? Hey, so like if someone asked you for $2 billion, would you be able to, like, you know, like if someone withdrew $2 billion, would you be able? We'll let our lawyers deal with that. Like, holy cow, man. Guys, if you're doing the shitcoin casino on Binance, whatever, man, you know, it's your money. You feel like fucking setting it on fire. That's up to you. Take your shit off exchanges right now. Take self-custody. Binance does not look good. That was not an interview that inspired strength, okay? That it all went downhill for Cristiano when he accepted that Binance sponsorship, okay? Just went holy cow, man. It's almost as if, like, the exchanges, as soon as they start doing celebrity endorsements, like, that should be just a giant red flag. Like, what a clusterfuck. And I saw a lot of, like, people talking about this on Twitter, right? Like, hey, so, you know, if Binance goes down, like, you know, it's over. You're goddamn right it's over for shitcoins, 100%. That's a huge hit. But Bitcoin, yeah, you're just going to get a great discount. You're going to be able to buy cheap sats, and the honey badger is going to be working like as if nothing happened, man. But holy cow, dude. It's like every exchange that dabbles in shitcoins, like it just, like, they just get wrecked, bro. Like every single time, doesn't fail. I'm sorry, Opti. I was gonna play that video like earlier on in the episode, but then as soon as you told me you were gonna talk about, you know, proof of keys and all that shit, I'm like, nope, I'm gonna put it right here.
Well, I love that you added that, and you know, I think to be clear though, he was talking about the FTX buyout, whether he would give funds back to customers if they asked for it. But again, we also have that other news that supposedly the audit company he went to, they're literally not doing an audit on Binance or any other crypto companies. So not looking good for any of those companies out there. Again, this is why we tell you guys consistently, take your Bitcoin into self-custody, because exchanges are not to be trusted. And someone told me on Twitter the other day that I forget who it was. Again, I forget. It's all a blur on Twitter. But that we should ring the alarm on Proof of Keys Day, which is January 3rd. And so, you know, this is a celebration by Bitcoiners to, you know, call for bank runs on all the exchanges out there and not to keep your coins on the exchanges. Anyway, shouts out to Armin the Parman. I found this article on here. It's a year old, but it doesn't really matter. This is still the same concept. January 3rd, Proof of Keys Day. So on January 3rd, the anniversary of the first Bitcoin block, Bitcoiners performed the ritual of withdrawing our Bitcoin from custodial services to our own private wallet. So we are ringing the alarm now, a week or two before, so that everyone understands why we are Bitcoiners and why the importance of taking your Bitcoin not only on January 3rd, but anytime you get Bitcoin on exchanges. And, you know, the best time to take self-custody is when you buy your Bitcoin. But the second best time would be on or before January 3rd, because you do not want to be the last one, you know, waiting in line. If you are having your Bitcoin on an exchange and they are trading a bunch of paper Bitcoin and they do not have the claims of their Bitcoin. So January 3rd is Proof of Keys Days, guys, and you need to, well, you don't need to if you don't want to not own your Bitcoin. But as we say all the time, if you have Bitcoin on an exchange, it's not your Bitcoin, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. So you may have a claim to a Bitcoin, But unless you take that Bitcoin into self-custody, you do not really own Bitcoin. So until that point, you are trusting someone that you own Bitcoin. Anyways, Armin the Parman goes, what's the purpose of proof of keys days? And that's the subject of this article. I will put it in the description for you guys. But number one is don't trust exchanges. We tell you guys every single day, exchanges are not wallets. Number two, we are enforcing the 21 million hard cap of Bitcoin by taking our Bitcoin into self-custody and further ensuring that these Bitcoin companies are not fractionally reserving your Bitcoin, because this is literally why we are in the situation we are in. This is why Bitcoin was created, because remember what it says in the Genesis block. Chancellor on the brink of second bailout. So make sure that you are running your own node, taking your Bitcoin into self-custody, because you cannot trust these Bitcoin exchanges to hold on to your Bitcoin. This is a story as old as time. If you trust someone to hold on to your money, they will most likely fractionally reserve that money. Anyways, number three, again, enforcing the rules of Bitcoin. Run your own Bitcoin node, verify your own payments, and ensure that you are holding Bitcoin. So again, the point of proof of keys is twofold, according to Armin, and I agree with this. First is to keep exchanges in check. Some may be running fractional reserve, and as we had this year, we had proof that a lot of companies are running fractional reserve out there. They are rehypothecating the hell out of your Bitcoin unless you take that Bitcoin into self-custody. And further, they may not even have the Bitcoin, as we saw with the FTX debacle. Guys, this is like the most important aspect of Bitcoin, is taking your Bitcoin into self-custody. And what do we mean by that? Is writing down the 12 to 24 words of a Bitcoin wallet you control, whether that's our Jade wallet, whether that's your cold card, whether that is on Spectre or Sparrow or Pine or Breeze or Moon. Again, there's a lot of flavors of wallets out there. There's a lot of trade-offs, and it's up to you to pick a wallet that you enjoy the most. Again, I'm kind of becoming a big fan of Pine. There's literally only two buttons. Send and receive, and that's a mobile wallet. Like, I think that's a very good user experience. But when everyone withdraws their Bitcoin on the same day, then these exchanges become exposed and, potentially collapsing. Hence why I'm telling you guys to do it before proof of keys days on January 3rd, because you never know what is happening. And this is how we have, the similar aspect of a traditional bank run. So the fact that there is this threat reduces the chance that exchanges will take the risk. And this is all we are trying to instill in your guys' brain. Take your Bitcoin into self-custody, because stop eliminating the trust to these middlemen. This is literally why Bitcoin was created. Again, go and read the white paper one more time, because this is what it says in the abstract and the first sentence of the white paper. There is too much trust in the system, and you can take back that outsourcing of trust by simply taking your Bitcoin into self-custody. And we say it every single day. Self-custody is the revolution. Provide the value, stay humble, stack sats, take Bitcoin into self-custody. And these financiers out there will not be able to rehypothecate. They will not be able to fractionally reserve your Bitcoin. And we can ensure the 21 million hard cap of Bitcoin. So January 3rd, it's proof of keys day, and you need to take your Bitcoin into self-custody, or else you may get left holding the bag on paper Bitcoin. Anyways, Nico, jump in.
Bro, yeah, absolutely, bro. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Unfortunately, people had needed the FTX, blow up to learn that lesson. Unfortunate, sucks. But hey, same thing happened with Mt. Gox. And I think that every time, not everybody, but at least a percentage of people wake up to that reality. And I've actually been doing rounds on Legacy Media. I went on a radio show yesterday. I did a show for a local station for Fox. I did one for NBC. And it's the same thing. It's like, crypto's in trouble right now. It's like, yeah, crypto's in trouble, but Bitcoin isn't. Bitcoin's doing great, and none of this would have affected you if you just stayed humble, stack sats, taken that Bitcoin into self-custody. And I think that's really the lesson here, right? That's the lesson. If you just earn it, mine it, buy it, take it into self-custody, the world could be burning around you, and your Bitcoin, your wealth, your future, your energy is safe and sound, right? And I think that's the message that falls down to all of us, all of us individuals, to push that message out there. If you got an older member of your family that's been in the fiat matrix for way too long, you could Uncle Jim, man, get involved, push that message out there. And remember, this is information narrative trench warfare. So every single day on Twitter, even if you don't have a big following, you see a big account that says something that you like that. You see some tyrants like Elizabeth Warren, let her know exactly in the comment section. Of course, color within the lines. Let's speak your mind, right? Let's be louder than them. Remember, the internet that's our home field. We have home field advantage there. Our memes are better. Our mematic warfare is better. We're gonna win this, right? We got this. Concentrate. Get on the mission. Anyways, Opti, let's get to the meme review. Let's do it.
I love it.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboom Racks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboom Racks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboom Racks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboom Racks. Kaboom. Kaboom.
It's not the show anymore if we don't do the kaboom. Right? Kaboom. All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this is the meme review.
Wait, Opti, have you heard about Kaboom Racks?
Kaboom.
It's the best place to buy miners.
Speaking
Kaboom
of, I hear
Racks.
Kaboom Racks is selling S9s for $55 right now. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Kaboom. Deals on Kaboom Racks.
Deals
Only
on
Kaboom
Kaboom
Racks.
Racks. Anyways, this is the meme review, and you guys know the meme that starts the meme review. Tweets are the bullets, and memes are the artillery, and you are the frontline soldiers. Continue to meme. We are in an information war. This is not hyperbolic. They are trying to flood you with so much noise that you don't know what's up from down. So continue to spread the truth. Bitcoin is that pillar of truth, and this is why it is our meme world and everyone else is just living in it. Anyways, drop your meme review score after the memes, and we will read them live on the show. This first one, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Maxi's Club. He continues to kill it. Obviously, I am colorblind, and he uses a lot of colors, so it pops out in my mind. But he's got 246, the battle, and we got this little Bitcoin Pepe Bitcoiner. We are fighting against the fiat monetary system with memes, and he goes, bad for double spend, good for decentralization. And we got a Bitcoiner on a scooter holding some Bitcoin with flames all around us. I love it, bro. Good artistic integrity over here. This next one, again, guys, I tell you all the time, sometimes memes are just quotes, and this is something I talk about consistently on the show. Proof of work is a way of life. It's a philosophy to live by. And we got a quote here from Excellion. Samson Mount, he goes, Bitcoin isn't just money, it's also a state of mind. Shouts out to Bitcoin TW. I love these quotes, and I love how you even have the block height under there. So this was said June 5th, 2022, a block height of 739,333. Let's go. I love this format. I think these hit. This next one is by our friend 21JCLP, and he goes, Bitcoin plebs are the best. And we got a variation on the girlfriend and the Chad meme, and the girlfriend's crying. She goes, babe, please pay attention to me. It's been weeks. And we got this Chad Bitcoiner with the Santa Claus hats on. And he goes, sharing with the Bitcoin plebs is the best. And we got I think this is the meme tard council, or the meme factory council around Bitcoin. He goes, united we meme. Let's go. Okay, this next one, very fitting considering what we talked about on this show. This one is by Meming Bitcoin, and it's I think it's a superhero pushing the buttons meme, and he goes, Bitcoin on the left, Bitcoin is not backed by anything, and Bitcoin uses too much energy, and the Bitcoin critics sweating, wait, which button do I push? Bitcoin is not backed by anything, or it uses too much energy. Oh, man, people really don't understand what's going on around here. Anyways, this next one is by Galliant Bitcoin. He goes, I forget, this is like what, Final Fantasy? I forget who this guy is. And we got Peter Griffin. He goes, Peter, I told you not to leave your Bitcoin on Celsius, BlockFi, or FTX. Guys, this is why we say take Bitcoin into self-custody, or else you may be wrecked. This next one is by Saving is Bitcoin. I really love this one. This is a bit of a contentious, spicy meme, and we have the meme a template of a brain, and then, you know, more light, more neurons firing and going into enlightenment. And the first one says, I want Bitcoin's price to go down because it's a stupid scam. And then more firing neurons, I want Bitcoin's price to go up because I bought some. And then we got more enlightenment. It goes, I want Bitcoin's price to go down because I want to buy more. And then we got pure transcendence and pure enlightenment at the bottom. It goes, I want Bitcoin's price to go up because we will be closer to the end of fiat clown world. Absolute bars. And this next one, I knew we were going to talk about a proof of keys today. So shouts out to our boy Andres, aka Son of Sats. And he goes, live view of your Bitcoin when you're trying to withdraw your Bitcoin from quote unquote crypto exchanges. And you can see a bald eagle as the crypto exchange delivering what, a pigeon or something, your Bitcoin. Guys, if you don't want your Bitcoin stolen from you, do not give away your private keys to these crypto shitcoin casinos, because you may never get that Bitcoin back, and it may just end up being paper Bitcoin, and you'll get a I'm sorry, I am so sorry. Anyways, Nico, I did see this message that you said you wanted to cover the fountain comment. So let me get my meme review score, and then get your meme review score, and then we'll cover the fountain comment while we get the meme reviews in the chat. Okay, so my meme review score today is this Brains Bitcoin mining handbook.
Hey, how did you get that?
Hey, I asked for it when I saw them. I'm like, they had a whole bunch. I'm like, yo, give me one of these. Can I get one, please? Like, I want one of these.
That's not cool. That's not fair. All right.
You can't be the only one over here getting the perks. No, I got this at I think that's a BitBlock Boom.
All right, I'm gonna give it this purple USB.
Wow.
USB-C cable. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's not just a regular color. It's a purple one. It's a purple one.
Amazing. Okay, guys. So while we get the meme review scores in the chat. Forgive me. Okay, we got this first one is by a BTC Cool Kid on Fountain. Thank you very much. He boosted us 95 cents. He goes, regarding the pressure that Saylor and Bukele are feeling, the pressure is just as bad or worse when it's coming from a spouse. Lol. They remind you every day that Bitcoin didn't go to 100K. I was wrong in the short term, but I'm right in the long term. That's what I say to myself in the mirror every day. And they're talking about the Nick Bhatia interview we had, where he was mentioning that process that we all go through, and how we're all just humans trying to usher in Bitcoin. He doesn't like to use hyper Bitcoinization, but the Bitcoin standard to the world. This next one is by Zeka Boy. Forgive me if I said that wrong. Another 95 sat boost, and he goes, fucking love Corey. Can we make him world leader? This is episode 634 when Corey exposed the coin desk for their anti-Bitcoin propaganda. The next one is by Zentax.
Opti, we need to get some of the best things that Corey says and put it on the soundboard.
Okay. Oh man, okay. This Dennis Parker, shouts out to you, bro. 95 sats boost, and he goes, only signal fire. And this is on episode 635 when we covered the iPhone creator creating a Bitcoin hardware wallet. Next one is Bitfire, and he goes, bring the fire. Another 95 boost on the same episode. And we got a few more over here. Last one is by RNOD, an 855 sat boost. Thank you very much. He goes, keep up the good work, boys. Bringing that purifier signal day after day. Oh, and fuck the mattress salesman. Again on episode 635. I don't remember who the mattress salesman is, but shouts out to you guys. We really appreciate all the support. We appreciate all the sats you guys send us. We appreciate the comment and the people that are clipping our content. We love it, guys. You know, we say it all the time. Continue to push Bitcoin signal. It doesn't just have to be simply Bitcoin. Just, you know, get that out there. Let's saturate the mainstream popular content. Oh, dang, you got one. Dang.
Dang. Look at that. Look at that. Guys, if you want Simply Bitcoin merch, it just dropped. Check out check out the Simply Bitcoin merch at representltd.com. The hat just came out, and of course, you know Nico likes wearing the camo hoodies. All original, super high quality. Take advantage of the promo code Simply-Bitcoin. Get 10% off representltd.com. Search Simply Bitcoin merch on Represent Ltd. We're gonna start putting the direct link in the video description. Anyways, all right, let's
I need to get that B hat and that dad hat though.
Oh,
dad
all right.
hat
It also comes
matchy.
in. It also comes in black too. All right, so let's check out some of these scores. All right, first one by Be Aware and Focus meme score, an orange #1 foam hand. All right, next one by Brandon score active _exchange _FUD. Great rope rating those memes. My soon to be BK bucket hat. Oh man. Oh man. All right, next one by Diogenes. I give. By the way, shout out to Diogenes, man. He helps so much. He helps so much with the background stuff, with the production of the show. Shout out to you, man. We're forever indebted. Diogenes the Great gives it. I give those memes a 38 of 75 multi-sig. Come at me, Central. Andres, I give the memes one of those glasses that let colorblind people see color.
Thank you. I've never used one, but I should go try it.
And then please tape the reaction. Okay, Bitcoin for Canadians. I give the memes poor CZ looking like a wrecked goose. Next one at Nopaday says I give those memes simply Bitcoin. Oof. SBF. SBF soap bar only dropped once. Oof, that's rough, man.
You guys are savage.
Rave Elevator. I give the memes the one Grinch stole Christmas VHS.
Wow, VHS Maxi. Tell me you're old without telling me you're old.
Azu Pearl. I give the memes Nico's missing perks.
Hey.
And Elaine says, I give it a 5. Why do girlfriends always look stupid? So stupid. Isn't it up to Bitcoiner to win her over?
Savage. Okay, we got a few more.
Frank Arm. I give the memes a fast decreasing value of a Trump NFT. Hey, surprisingly though, those 45,000 cards that he sold, they all sold out.
Really?
They all sold out.
Wow.
And it was like $9. So he made $4 million off those fucking cards.
Wow.
Bitcoin Becca, I give those memes 21 sats on Binance. And by the way, they weren't shitcoins because they're physical cards. Was it actually only NFTs?
I think it was an NFT, bro.
Oh God. Wow.
Yeah.
So Donald Trump is a shitcoin scammer. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first he hates Bitcoin and now he's a shitcoin scammer.
Legend. Hey, we're not doing the spaces today, so I could say this. Legend _5150. I give it a used condom. See, Nico doesn't get uncomfortable. Man.
Okay, I think that was it for today.
Okay, that's the buzzer. All right, guys. Also, check out Simply Bitcoin's blog, Simply Bitcoin Unfiltered. Go to www.simplybitcoin.news. Also, check out Simply Bitcoin's Telegram group. It's a party in there. Almost 700 people. www.t.me/simplybitcointv. If you want to link us memes, that is where you do it. Anyways, Opti, plebsite or software?
It is a software, but Nico, I just saw this breaking news right now. Bank of International Settlement announces a new policy that allows banks to hold 2% of reserves in Bitcoin and shitcoins. Interesting.
2%.
Interesting. Oh, look, we got a super chat. Let's go.
Oh, let's pull it up. Thank you. Vake. Super chat. Super chat's finally labeled. I'm gonna troll Nico and Opti $10 at a time.
Let's go.
Man, thank you.
Feature, not a bug.
By the way, the rules for the super chat are this: no matter where we are in the episode, we will pause it and read the chat, whatever it is that you decide to say. Anyways, everybody. Oh God, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Dude, it's gonna be so bad, Nico. You should have never said that, but now we are holding ourselves to it.
It's good entertainment. All right, website or pubsite?
It's a website.
Okay.
Software.
Bitcoin software release.
Brought to you by CipherSafe. Don't be that person that loses their Bitcoin seed due to fire damage, water damage, dog attacks. Back up your generational Bitcoin wealth on steel, and there's no better place to do it than the Cypher Grid by CipherSafe. And now check out their new Bitcoin art, the Bitcoin Rulux triangle, only on cyphersafe.io.
All right. Everyone is telling us that rule will change quickly on us, Nika, the super chat rule. But this is a software release. And as I tell you guys all the time, today's software release is BTC Pay Server. And in my opinion, one of the most important projects in Bitcoin. There's obviously a lot of important projects, but this is one that is dear to my heart. So anyways, shouts out to the BTC Pay Server team. They just released a new update. Update 1.7.2. They released this 8 hours ago, and it's got new features, bug fixes, improvements, and miscellaneous updates, guys. So I just realized I didn't add this to show notes this morning, but I'll have it there for you guys right when this ends. Go update your BTC Pay server and make sure that you are able to receive your Bitcoin for your store.
Okay. Very nice. It's one of my favorite open source softwares, by the way. I think it's super, super important. The UI is super clean as well. Oh, guys, no spaces today. Elon, you heard that. We played it for you for a reason. Love you all, guys.
Coincidentally, spaces doesn't work.
It's been
today.
a freaking crazy, right? Coincidentally, it's been a crazy week. Elizabeth Warren, right? The power company in Japan. Holy cow. Anyways, guys, we love you all. Thank you so much for staying with us. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Like, consider subscribing, share this video, spread the peaceful revolution, and we'll see you Monday morning for a brand new episode of Simply Bitcoin Live.